Am I the asshole for not spending time with my daughter? I, 36M, have 3 children, 12M, 14M, 16F. I spend most of my time with my boys fishing, going on trips with them and their friends. Sometimes we even go camping. A lot of times they even sit around me and my friends when we're at the campfire. We spend a lot of time together bonding as father and sons, but my daughter does not. I take my boys to clubs like coding, American football, and basketball. I asked my daughter if she would like to go to any clubs, but she declined and I said fine by me. My daughter asks me to do things like practice makeup, fashion, etc. I have no interest. Instead, I like things like football, fishing, and building things. I frequently visit Home Depot with my boys because we are always working on projects, like how we are working on building a cabin. My daughter comes around asking me to come shopping with her, which I find unimaginably boring, so I pass on the offer. My boys hate going shopping with their mother and sister, but love the things I do with them, so whenever their mother is not forcing the two come, we are always having fun. I've asked my daughter multiple times to come, but she's refused. The last few weeks she has been asking me to spend time with her, but she never does anything that would interest me. All she does with me is show me new clothes, talk about TV shows, and typical teenage girl stuff. I am not interested in things like getting my hair done, so I do not spend time with her often. And #X200B. Last week she came to me and I refused. I think this was the last straw in her book because she was furious. She started calling me out, saying how I never spend time with her and that I love her brothers more than I care about her. Which is not true. I reassured her that I love her and her brothers equally, but she does not listen. She asks me to try doing what she likes for a change, but I explain to her how I am not interested. My wife has also called me out on this. When I told my friends, they told me it was just a phase, and their daughters have done the same. This calmed me down, but my daughter will not speak to me. I feel really bad. Am I the asshole? Everything I do with my kids has to be all about me and what I like to do, and if my kid has different interests, they're useless to me and I won't spend any time with them. I have other kids whose shared interests can reflect my self-perceived glory back at me, and I am all that matters. Yes, bruh. No question. You are the asshole. ETA wow, all. Thank you. You are the asshole. Your daughter isn't quite right. It's not that you love your sons more than her. It's that you love yourself more than all of them. It's just more convenient to spend time with your sons because they happen to be into the same things as you. Being a parent is a sacrifice. Sometimes that means getting out of your comfort zone and doing something that you don't find fun. Because it isn't actually about the activity. It's about spending time together. You are the asshole. The priority isn't your entertainment. It's spending time with your daughter. Am I the asshole for calling the cops because no one picked up the kid I was babysitting? My boyfriend and I took his ex's kid for a last-minute overnight stay since the father of the kid canceled on her. She had plans with her friends for the night and we weren't busy, so we took him overnight when the baby daddy bailed on her. We told her we had brunch reservations the next morning at 11, and while we were happy to help, she needed to pick him up by 9 a.m. She knew this and agreed when she dropped him off. Well, next morning it's 9 a.m. and she isn't here yet. We text and call her with no answer. 10 a.m. rolls around and we try calling her again. She picks up in a very groggy voice and tells us she's got the worst hangover and she won't be picking him up until 2 p.m. We remind her of our brunch reservations and she tells us to take him with us. This kid is 2 years old. It is not enjoyable to take a child this age out to eat. My boyfriend cancels our reservations and gets ready to have this kid until she decides to pick him up. I am furious at this point. This is not my child nor my boyfriend's child. I call her and tell her if she is not here by noon, I would be calling the police to collect her child. She only lives 15 minutes away. She calls me a bitch. I then told her she had 30 minutes to come get him. I waited an hour and there was zero sign of her. We couldn't drop the child off to her since she lives in an apartment complex that you need to have access to get in. So I called the cops and told them I was babysitting and I don't know where his parents are. They were supposed to be here 2 hours ago. They basically treated it as they would a lost child. They took him down to the station. Little Miss finally rolls up at 3 p.m. and gets belligerent when she discovers I had actually called the cops and gave her child to them. She calls me all sorts of wonderful names and storms down to the police station. Edit. We didn't know where she was or if she'd even gone home. We also couldn't contact the father since we had no contact information. Edit 2. Mother of the child is also neglectful, and this was the last straw for us. She'd maybe change his diaper twice throughout the whole day, on a good day, and multiple times I'd seen her refill a bottle that hadn't been cleaned in days with actual rotten milk inside. Not the asshole. I'm very glad you called, because this woman very much needs CPS to be keeping an eye on the health and safety of her child. Not the asshole. She was supposed to pick him up at 9 a.m. She didn't. She said she would get him at 2 p.m., and was still an hour late. She was warned you would call the police and still rolled up late to her suggested late pickup time. I just feel bad for the kid being put through this scary experience. You and your boyfriend might want to consider a security system. Am I the asshole for telling my neighbors that I don't care for their living situation? I know the title sounds bad, but hear me out. I recently relocated to Orlando from Miami. I moved to some apartments that most would consider really nice. Not high-end or anything, but definitely nice. Miami was just too expensive, which is the reason for my move. So because I work from home and I have 2 dogs, I wanted to get a 2-bedroom apartment. One that can be an office that I can work from and one for me to sleep. After having my office in the same room I slept in my last home, still lived with my mom, it felt suffocating, like if I never got to escape work. This has been much better for me mentally, and I feel like I'm actually leaving work after I close my laptop. So I've been here about a month and recently saw a family moving in. I'm very introverted, so I didn't introduce myself or anything. The only time I really ever have contact with anyone is when someone is walking their dog at the same time I am and our pups want to say hello to each other. Very quick small talk and then we're on our way. Today as I was going back inside after walking my dogs I saw the wife and I just gave a friendly smile. Nothing more. I decided I should throw the trash out before I clock in for the day just to get it out of the way. As I was walking back to my apartment the wife stopped me to introduce herself. I introduced myself as well. She then asked if I lived with a girlfriend or anything. I told her no, it's just me and the pups. She gave me a strange look that I can only describe as annoyed. She asked if my apartment had 2 bedrooms. I told her yes, that there are 2 bedrooms. She asked me why I wanted 2 bedrooms when I live alone and explained to her the office, sleeping thing I mentioned above. Now this is the part where I may be the asshole. She said that it was really inconsiderate and rude to bigger families to take up a 2-bedroom apartment by myself. That her family of 4, husband, wife, 2 kids, have to share a 1-bedroom because people like me decide to steal the 2-bedroom apartments. I said that it sucks that you feel that way, but there's nothing I can do. She said I should trade apartments with her. I thought she was joking, so I just started laughing. Not a nervous laugh or anything, I just genuinely found her suggestion hilarious. I then said that her living situation doesn't concern me and if she wanted a 2-bedroom apartment she should have looked harder. She said she was going to report me the building and I said that she should include report me to DeSantis, Florida governor, while she's at it. I went inside and left her there screaming like a crazy person. Am I the asshole? I think laughter was the appropriate reaction. Next time, just ignore her and her family completely. Consider getting a doorbell camera because these people are clearly unhinged. Not the asshole. Not the asshole. I very much doubt there are no other 2-bed apartments in the place where you live. She should rent one of those. She's being a mooch. Not the asshole. Immediately report this as harassment to the building management. You need to document this before she starts spewing lies. I would also recommend getting a camera for inside your apartment that records both audio and video. Because I would not be surprised if she starts complaining about your dogs barking in an effort to get you evicted. Cover your ass and start preparing for war. Not the asshole. You can live in a 4,000 square feet mansion if you could afford it. It's no one's business. You really might need to get a doorbell camera. Your neighbor sounds like she could escalate. Would I be the asshole if I attend a wedding and my pregnancy is announced because I will not be drinking? My boyfriend, 34 male, and I, 31 female, have been dating for 12 years and just decided to start trying for a baby. We have not announced that we're trying for a baby because it will result in our families lecturing us about getting married and having a wedding. We do not want a wedding and marriage isn't important to us. We have a family wedding to attend this weekend. Therefore I took a pregnancy test, just to double check, before a weekend of heavy drinking. Well, it was positive and we are so excited. I do not want to announce that I am pregnant until we go to the doctor or after 12 weeks. This happened so quickly I am not sure what to do. The bride has been dreaming about her wedding day her whole life and all the attention should be on her. I do not want to take her spotlight. This will be the first grandchild in the family and I assume that everyone will be so excited. The problem is that I drink alcohol and get drunk at every family event. My family loves to party and we take shots together, shotgun beer together, and randomly challenge each other to chugging contests. I am fully involved in the festivities and instigate a lot of the drinking. Basically, it will be very noticeable that I am not drinking and refusing shots. I am planning on pretending to drink beers by replacing it with water, but I don't think this will actually fool my family. We are staying at the hotel where the reception is taking place, therefore I cannot just say I am the designated driver. My family will notice that I am not drinking this weekend and correctly conclude that I am pregnant. I cannot imagine missing my cousin's wedding but also could never imagine stealing the bride's spotlight with my pregnancy. I know the bride will be angry if there are rumors about my pregnancy during her wedding. My cousin will be annoyed that I made his new wife angry, but he's reasonable and would not actually be mad at me. Would I be the asshole if my pregnancy gets announced or rumored at my cousin's wedding, or should I just stay home, sick? My boyfriend suggested that we should call everyone and announce that we are pregnant today. Therefore, it does not happen during her wedding. I don't think making the announcement a few days before her wedding will actually help. In addition, I am uncomfortable with this because I've only taken at-home pregnancy tests and have not been to the doctor. I do not know how far along I am. Plus, I am more terrified of the possibility of having to announce a miscarriage to the whole family. I hope I don't have a miscarriage, but it's a possibility with any pregnancy and the chance drops significantly after 12 weeks according to the internet. Too long did not read. My family will notice that I am not heavy intoxicated during my cousin's wedding this weekend and correctly assume I am pregnant. Therefore, my pregnancy will be a huge rumor all night, taking the spotlight away from the bride. I will deny the rumors, but would I be the asshole if I still attend the wedding? YWBTA. Just say you're taking a course of antibiotics and can't drink if anyone asks. You're on antibiotics. You have a bet going. You've started a clean eating diet. You're prepping for a blood test. And if anyone asks if you're pregnant, just say no. YWBTA. A simple Google search gives you a few ideas. Don't make your cousin's wedding about you. Don't announce it beforehand. It's tacky. YWBTA. Just tell them you have to take antibiotics and are not allowed to drink alcohol while you take them. If they ask what for, say UTI.